Welcome back to Real Airgun Adventures. This is part 2 of the slug firing tests. So the ones I'm using are again from Pro Hunter Slugs, Pro Hunter Swaging. I've got standard slugs in 15 grains, but the same slugs in 18 grains. I've swapped up today to the Walther RM8 Rotec. I feel a lot more confident today, having already tested in the Hatson, so I'm not concerned about doing any damage to my rifle. So this will be the test gun today. I'm going to fire at 40 meters. I'm going to shoot 2 groups, one with the 15s, one with the 18s. Cards on the table. I've already tried it. I'm zeroed in. I'm happy with the results I'm getting. It's pretty much windless today, which is brilliant. I was a bit concerned about the gusts we were having earlier, but it's settled right down. It's a lovely still day out there. That said, apparently slugs handle the wind a lot better than pellets do, but that won't be a consideration today. So let's go and do some shooting, have a little look, and I'll be right back. Okay, that's the first group out of the way. That is, for me, as good as it gets. I fired 5 or 6 groups already. They were all pretty good. That was the best. Now, this time around, I've followed the instructions. I've cleaned the barrel. I've leaded it back in with a few pellets, and then I've used some lubricant on the slugs themselves to ease them through. Works a treat. It's definitely worth doing. The first time around, in the first part of the video that I did, I tried it pretty much straight out the bag, and it was still good, but nowhere near as good as the results that you get when you follow those instructions. So I'd recommend that you do that. Now the 15 grain, which are these, they're actually slightly bigger in length than the 10 or 10.5 that I fired last time around, and the 18s are longer again. Now again, I've had a go with those. It may be me, it may be that the rifle is not so happy on that way to slug, but they're still good results, but they're not as good. A lot of people will be over the moon probably to get those results. Now, cards on the table, I do own a Walther RM8, but this isn't it. Mine's a 2.2. This is a .177 that I borrowed for the day. It wasn't particularly dirty when I cleaned the barrel, so it probably hasn't seen a lot of action, whereas mine will probably be filthy. I'm hoping to do a few 2.2 tests as well, but I've got another rifle in mind for that. So we're going to ultimately have 3 different rifles and probably 4 different weights of pellets. Now these are the standard, premium standard slugs, which are made slightly differently, but they are firing from this rifle very well. I've also got the high impact, which I'll have to do a test on at some point. What I don't want to do is to sort of flood my channel with slug videos at the moment. We might come to a point where that is the case, but currently I'm just trying to sort of spread things out. So you'll see from that shooting that the 15 grain are very good. They're not behaving like a .177 pellet. The trajectory is definitely not as flat. But that said, there's a lot of weight in there. You would expect that. And the 18s, it's more noticeable. Having said that, it's just a matter of adjusting the rifle in your shooting style to suit the ammunition that you're using. So before I get too boring, let's have a quick look at the 18 grain. Again, they're the standard pellets. And when I come back, I'll tell you the difference, and we'll have a little chat about the rifle itself. Okay, I'll be right back. there you go, that's the 18 grain. Now that is a very respectable little bit of shooting at 40 yards, well, probably 40 meters. But it's not as good as a 15s, and they're probably not as good as a 10.5s, but that was a much shorter distance that I fired those at, so I would expect to have a slightly tighter group. Now I know that I can improve on that and I can make that better, but that's not what this video is about. This video was to answer some questions. Can you shoot accurately and with some degree of confidence slugs from a sub 12 foot-pound rifle? And we've done it from a Hatson Flash Pup, and we've done it from a Walther RM8 now. The next time I think I might try the Gamo Fox, put some 2.2s through that. I might try some slightly different things with the shooting itself, but the important thing is we've proved we can fire slugs, we've proved that they're accurate. Now let's have a little look at some chrono results, because that's quite interesting too. Then I'll round up. Be right back. Damn, put my elbow on a remote control. I'll come back to my coffee later. So there you go. Again, I'm happy with those results. I'm pleased with it. I think they're very good, actually, not just respectable. Those are good results. I'm not a target shooter. I shoot targets to keep my eye in, but that's not really why I have rifles. So if I can shoot a target at 40 yards with those kind of results, I would think anyone can. I did cheat. The rifle was clamped, so it wasn't going anywhere. And that's quite a hefty scope on there as well. But that doesn't detract from the fact that the rifle was accurate. Now, as you've seen from the chronograph results, they're certainly powerful. Now, as I said in the first video, slugs retain much more of their energy. So even if they leave the barrel at a slightly lower velocity, when they get to the other end, they pack more of a punch. So from a pest control or hunting point of view, that's very good. Now, if you are a target shooter, and I've no doubt that lots of people will have their eye on these for target shooting, especially HFT, because of the extended ranges you may be shooting at, you'll probably find these are very effective too. Going back to the cost versus benefits sort of ratio with these, personally I think they're worth it. I would rather spend the extra on these than a tin of mid-range pellets where I might have to lose 20% of the tin because they're not as well shaped as they should be. These are all pre-washed in the manufacturing process, so you don't need to do that. The amount of lubrication that you put on them is minimal, hardly anything at all. You don't soak them, you literally just put a little bit in the tin and gently move them around. And pellet lube isn't expensive, and there's quite a few on the market now. Actually, when I was looking, there's a few more. It used to just be Napier, and somebody else was telling me they just used silicone oil to get the same effect. Couldn't say there was any difference between that and the genuine pellet lube. So it's not an expensive thing to be shooting slugs, because you're going to get more of your shots on target, or certainly I've been getting more of my shots on target. And with the number of groups that I fired, I would say my best group wasn't the one that I filmed, but because I tried to give an honest review, the one I filmed is the one that we've looked at, we'll talk about. There's no point in me showing you a target with some holes in it and saying I did that earlier. It's open to question. Anyway, in conclusion, Pro Hunter Slugs from Pro Hunter Swaging, which are a UK-based company, seem to be excellent. They certainly do the job. They certainly work in the sub 12 foot-pound rifles. We've tried 2 now. I will try a third, and we'll go for some 2.2 perhaps. Now, I think I'm going to be using a lot more of these slugs. Initially I thought, well, I'll try them out and maybe I'll use them occasionally, high days and holidays, but I think these could end up becoming my sort of go-to ammo for my air rifles. I haven't tried a Springer yet, that's on the cards. I will try the LGU, because I think that's probably going to be pretty good. It's a good barrel on there. It's not dissimilar to the barrel on the RM8, so it should be okay. And there's others. There's a Virak HW77, which I'm I might put a few through there. But anyway, that's another time, that's another video. The important thing is today we've established that the heavier weights work, you can get good results. You do have to bear in mind with that extra weight there's a change in trajectory. So if you're a .177 shooter, you might be surprised by the way they behave, but everything can be adjusted for, which is the fun of shooting air rifles. Anyway, I'm waffling again. I'm going to get off. Thank you very much for watching my video. Please like and subscribe. As I always say, it's a big thank you to all those that have liked and subscribed, because if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be doing this. So thank you very much, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.